Hello, Michael Lewis of Empire Improv here. I am answering another improv question from Dan Marino, not the world famous football player for the Miami Dolphins, but a totally different Dan Marino. And Michael Lewis will be giving the answer, who is totally different from the world famous author. So, two famous names, sort of famous names, talking about unrelated things to having nothing to do with their sort of famous names are related to. All right. Well, so Dan asked, what can you do about plateauing? So that point where you've been improvising for long enough and you feel like you've just kind of stopped. So instead of having like a steady upward progression, you're getting better, you're getting better, you're getting better. You just feel like you've been flat for a really long time. And so I have a couple suggestions for that. Number one is take a break, do something else. Learn to paint, learn to sing, take a sculpture class, take up field hockey, um, write a novel, do something else, learn to sing, take a dance class, anything. Take your mind off of focusing on improv because you can kind of bang your head against a wall too many times and it's not fun anymore and it's hard. And a lot of times just stepping away from it for a little while will do that, or focus on something else, but find a way to step away from it. For me personally, I moved from Los Angeles where I was improvising quite a bit. Then I moved to Mammoth, which is a small ski resort town, and there was no improv going on at all. So you'd think that would have been bad for my improv, but actually it was pretty good to kind of take a step away, think about it. I was occasionally teaching at the time, so I still had some connection to improv. I probably would have seen shows if that was an option at the time. But I came back and I was kind of refreshed and excited about it because I'd had a chance to think about it, and it kind of brought me back to that same kind of fun place where it was exciting again. So stepping away is one of my suggestions for a way you can hopefully get over that plateau, make a new breakthrough, new discovery. The other thing that I think works for some people is focusing on something that you know you do well. Let's say you're really good at doing character work, but you've been struggling really hard to do grounded scenes or do more natural characters or whatever. Lean into what you do well for a while. See what happens. Maybe you'll end up discovering something else, or a different kind of character will show up, or maybe you'll just find out that improv is fun again, and then it'll open up that door to make a change in a different way. So another possible way to get over that plateau is lean into things that you already do well. Hopefully it'll open other doors. Another suggestion of something you can do is to make a small choice of something you can do in an improv show to change what you typically do. If you're someone who always initiates scenes, make a decision you're going to let your scene partner make the first move. Or you're someone who always starts a scene with dialogue, start a scene silently. If you are afraid of emotions, make a decision to choose an emotion before the show and initiate a scene from that emotion. Let the scene go where it goes, but feel that emotion. So they're all ways that you can make a conscious, simple choice of something you can do. Because a lot of times people, when they're improvising, especially when we get to those plateau points where they know a lot, but haven't synthesized all that information, so they have a lot of big ideas about what improv should be and how it should work and all of those kind of things. And when you get lost in those kind of ideas, it's really hard. Oh, I want to do, more, realistic, grounded shows. You're only one person. Unless you're improvising by yourself, it's hard to steer the ship of a whole show. So I think that making a small, discernible choice of some specific challenge that you can do for yourself for any time you're going to step on stage is a really good way of maybe breaking through that. Giving yourself a specific challenge. Oh, I'm scared of initiate. I'm scared of edit. I'm scared of, starting a group game, start a group game. I'm really scared of being silent in an improv scene. Make a choice to be silent. It terrifies me to sing. Find a reason to sing. Whatever that thing that you're scared of is, find a way that you can do it that isn't going to demand too much of your scene partner. A challenge you can do for yourself that isn't going to rewrite the show or demand something else of your scene partner. Something specific you can do. And whenever I'm giving notes or challenges for players, I try and have them find something specific they can do. And whenever I'm teaching a workshop, I always ask my students, what is something specific you can take to stage with you the next time you perform? Because I'll talk a lot about philosophical ideas or approaches or things like that. But what I want people to walk away from anytime I'm teaching is, what's a specific thing I can do when I walk on stage that's different than what I'm doing now? I think that's a great way to approach improv and potentially anything. As far as I know, Dan isn't improvising a ton. But either way, plateauing, I think, is a lot of those. Plateauing in anything, I'm sure it's the same thing, whether you're a musician or a dancer or whatever art form you have. Reaching those points of plateau where you don't feel like you're improving anymore is hard. The other thing I will say to encourage anyone who's been improvising for a period of time, the best scenes you ever do could be your very first week of improv, because you can just stumble on a great scene and have no idea why. But with time, what happens is your worst scenes are far better than what they used to be. When you very first started improvising and you were in a bad scene, it was unwatchable and uncomfortable for you and the audience and your scene partner, and it was terrible. And now you might do a show and you might feel really bad about a scene that you did, but it's not that bad anymore. So the bottom has come up. So your worst scenes aren't where they used to be. They're now up here. So don't beat yourself up as much. Yeah, maybe you aren't improvising the way that you want to, or the way that legends or amazing people are. But the worst that you're doing now is way better than what the worst was before. And as that continues to creep up, you may feel really bad about a scene, but it's not probably as bad as you think it is. You're just more critical and you know more, and your expectation is higher. You want to be able to hit a home run every time. Well, maybe you're just hitting singles every time, and sometimes you still hit home runs, but before you struck out a lot. So take that to heart. Should make you feel a little bit better. You're better than you were, even if you feel like, oh, I got to here and now I'm only to here. Yeah, but you're not way down here. You're not where you started. You're definitely moving forward. So those are a few suggestions I have for people that feel like they've plateaued in improvisation. Number one, take a step away, learn something else, do some other art, read a whole lot, take up ballroom dancing, whatever, do something different. Walk away from improv for a little while. You're on doing improv a whole bunch, do it a lot less, or take a month off. Find a way to step away for a little while, and you'll probably open your eyes up to something new, because you aren't just beating your head against the wall. I think it's a really good way to do it, which can be scary for people to walk away from an improv scene feeling like they'll get forgotten or they'll lose their spot or whatever. But can work to get over a plateau, to kind of break through that spot where you're stuck. Other one is lean into what you're good at. Hopefully it'll get you back to the place of playfulness and fun that'll make you have a good time when you're doing it again, and that'll hopefully open you up to other possibilities. The third one would be to make a small discernible step or discernible challenge that you can meet in any show that you're in. I'm going to do this one specific thing that's different than what I typically do. I'm going to initiate this scene, and I'm going to take stock of what my physical body is doing, and I'm not going to say anything until I take stock of how my body is actually feeling. That's a great way to do it. Or make an emotional choice, or I'm going to initiate a scene singing, or I'm going to initiate a scene doing something physical, or I'm going to initiate a scene with whatever those kind of things are. Things that aren't going to demand something of your scene partner, things aren't going to write the scene at all for you, but some sort of specific challenge that you can do. I'm going to edit a scene. If you don't ever edit, do that. I edit every scene. I'm going to not edit, whatever that is. But a challenge for you that's specific that you can take on and something that you can achieve. And by doing something different, I think that you will find out new opportunities. Whenever I'm working with people that have been improvising for a long time, I'm mostly trying to find them to steer them towards ways where they can find new and surprising things to do on stage. Because improv is the most fun is when you're surprised and it's wonderful. And that's why that first 6 months or year of improvisation is so amazing and so powerful, because everything's exciting. Everything's brand new. You can't believe what's going on. It's so fun and so electric and so powerful. And then you get to see, oh, okay, I can kind of do this and I can kind of do that. Oh, and this person does this and this person does that. And then, oh, I do this. Oh, I do this. And you keep running your head into the wall. So finding those ways to break through and try something new. So that is my advice on how to get out of a plateau, or to find a way to break through, or to challenge yourself to do something new. So hopefully that answers your question a little bit, Dan Marino. And if you have any other questions, reach out to Empire Improv or Michael Lewis, and I will be answering some more questions because I am not teaching 3 times a week anymore. I am alone in my house, just like a lot of you are. So I'm taking this opportunity to reach out to the improv world at large and try and answer some improv questions. Hopefully you'll find this useful, and if not, that is also great because there is no one way to improvise. So even if you go, well, that Michael guy was totally wrong, great. Do the opposite of what I said, and then my video still helped you out. And I'll take it. So thanks again for watching. I will see you again.